email from a guy from Facebook who is into my work, and he asked me like what plugins do he needs to get started to start mixing his song, because he's trying to do everything himself. And let me just say, I myself am a straight up in the box mixer. And what that means is all my mixing and mastering is done inside the computer software, inside my DAW. I don't have any outboard mixers or anything. And this is a big like point of contention with a lot of quote unquote mixers being in the box or out the box. Being out the box, you get analog sound and warmth, you get more a more depth in sound, right? But let's just be honest, man, a lot of us don't have the budget to get a lot of out the box equipment, dude. We just don't. So that being the case, man, the most cost efficient way is to do everything in the box. So not to call my friend's name out, Pain, he was wondering like what plugins should you use if you're just getting started trying to mix and you only got a $75 budget and you don't want to go to torrent sites and download plugins, because you know once you do that, the Russians are definitely all in your information. I mean, torrents are not safe, right? I myself have a big library of plugins, but those are plugins I've amassed throughout the years and just basically updating the license, right? You know, like my plugins are plugins for like maybe 2 years of just accumulating plugins and buying them as I get along. I'm just a plugin freak, right? So if you don't want to buy torrents, go to torrent sites and get free plugins, I get you, because it's always a chance to mess up your system. And if it's your system that you're really working on, you're getting your money on, you don't want to run the risk of like just downloading a torrent from anywhere and it just screwed up your whole system. And I've seen this happen. Like people try to take the cheap way out and they'll go to a torrent site and download these free plugins. And then next thing you know, their whole computer just crashes out. And now you just screwed up. You don't know how to fix your computer when it was just that one little glitch in that plugin that you downloaded for free. So like, is it really worth it? Like a lot of these plugins admittedly are expensive, right? But you got to look at it. How much is your computer worth to you, right? Especially you making money off your computer. How much is your computer worth? But to me, it's nothing for me to spend $300 on a plugin, because like my computer is how I make all my money, you know, in this digital society. So that's why I will always recommend you just buying your plugins, man. Don't go to a torrent site and download your plugins, man. It's not worth it. So Payne was like, yo, what plugins do I need? This is just my suggestions. When you're mixing, there's 3 things you undoubtedly need, right? I'm not talking about effects and all these special auto tunes. I'm just talking about just to mix a song. There's 3 things you're gonna need. You're gonna need an EQ. You're gonna need compression and de-essing. You're gonna need those 3. If you don't have those 3, man, you ain't got nothing. That's what you're gonna need to mix your damn song. Those are the big 3. Everything else is just icing on the cake, man. If you ain't got no de-essing, no compression, or no EQ, then you screwed. So you need to find that. And if your budget is to try to stay under $75, I'm not finna suggest you like some stuff with effects and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna give you the basic bare bones stuff you need to get started mixing your song. Also, you're gonna have to understand, dude, you're not gonna get $1 million sound with under $100 of plugins. You're not. 9 out of 10, you're probably not gonna get $1 million sound with more than that if you're just doing everything in the box. Just to be honest with you, you gotta like be realistic about your goals and your skill level in mixing. If you're going into it as a beginner, dude, you're not really going to like, basically what I'm saying, practice makes perfect, guys. Like use your ears, but I'm gonna give you the basic tools you need to start mixing, all right? So, oh, what's up, Uncle Stash? How you doing, man? All right, so let's get started, dude. And you're trying to stay under $75. All right. Here we go. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pop over to the Waves website, right? It's waves.com. You're going to want to pop over there, and you're going to want to look for this handy dandy plugin right here. Let me transition over there. Minimize this. So you're going to want to get this Shep's Omni Channel, right? And this is a great plugin. It's on sale right now for $35.99. And it has everything you need in one channel strip. It has your EQ, it has your de-esser, it has your compression, right? And as an added bonus, you get a gate and you get some saturation, a preamp, right? So this is everything you need to start mixing right here. Like, it's a beautiful plugin. I use it all the time along with other plugins, but this is one of my straight up go-to. The sound you get out of this plugin is like really unreal. It is great for the money, dude. And they're having a good old Black Friday, Cyber Monday sale holdover. You should go ahead and jump on that like right now. Like seriously, like yesterday, get that plugin, right? So that's $36 you just spent, right? And the next plugin you're gonna need is the Phase Analyzer from Waves, right? And this is on sale for $29.99, and it's worth every penny of that $29.99. You're gonna really want this plugin, right? And that's it. Yeah, that's all I'm suggesting, dude. If you're starting mixing and you're trying to start mixing for under $75, you just need those two plugins. That's it, man. That's it. Like, if you want to start getting into fancy effects, you're going to need other plugins, but you're just trying to mix your song. Like, if you want to record it yourself on your little interface with your mic and you're trying to mix it, those two songs right there will get you to the promised land, milk and honey, right? I'm not talking about mastering or anything. You're going to have to watch how you record it and everything, garbage in, garbage out. But these two plugins will definitely get you to where you need to be. Let me see, can I pull up a beat to show you guys exactly what you can expect from these plugins. All right, what's up, me Bose? How you doing, man? So let me pull up a beat I'm working on. All right, here we go. All right, so this is a beat I'm working on, and it hasn't been mixed at all. If you look at the channel strip right here, I have nothing on these joints. Now, me personally, I have a buttload of plugins that I can use, but I will use the two I just suggested, right? So here we go. The first thing you're going to want to do is when you're mixing a song, well, let you hear the song first, right? So this is the song.
So it has come to this. You dare challenge me.
I said that.
You will never again see the light of day. Blood will flow. Blood.
As you can hear, man, not mixed at all. Sounds are everywhere. All right, y'all can hear that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna loop this one part right here. And the first thing you're gonna want to do is you want to get your phase analyzer and you want to put it on your stereo out channel. Phase analyzer. Bam. Right? You're going to want to leave this up, man. This is your holy grail, milk and honey, the promised land, this phase analyzer. And I'll explain why in a minute, right? But you always want to leave this up when you're mixing. Like, this is your go-to. This is your, man, you want this, right? When I start off mixing, it's a personal preference. I turn everything down and I always work with my kick first, right? So, of course, all your drums are mono. So, see that? What this good old phase analyzer is doing, right? It's showing you where your sounds are hidden. And this is good for anybody who don't have a big studio and you're mixing your headphones. You're gonna want to look at where all your frequencies are hidden, because you don't get a full dynamic range in headphones. You just don't. It's kind of impossible. However, I prefer mixing in headphones because I feel like most music now is ingested through headphones, so you get a more realistic view of what everybody else is gonna, how everybody else is gonna hear your sound. So right here, if you look at this good old phase analyzer right here, it's showing you where that kick is hidden. So sweep around here, look, I know my kick is hidden around 60 to 120, around that frequency, right? So that gives me a range I can play with when I'm mixing, right? Down here, it shows me where, like, it's a good way to explain this simply, not in no technical terms. Basically, this is your ear, right? This is your ear. This shows how far left you're hearing, and this shows how far right you're hearing. Like, everything's kind of in a triangle. Like, sound goes out, right? So this shows how loud what you're playing is hitting it, right? And this just shows like left or right. Okay, put it like this. If I pan this kick left or right, it's gonna pop up on this phase analyzer. So I'm playing my kick, right? And if I go over here, I pan it left, it's gonna show me right here. Bam. See it? Where is it going? Bam, bam. Right? And this is the absolute left your ear can hear, right? And if I sweep it over to the right, bam, absolute right you can hear, right? So that's basically all it's doing right here, showing me like where the sound is coming through. And that is invaluable. And that's really going to help you out when you start mixing and you practicing your mix, right? I just cleared that, by the way. All right. Oh, and just so you know, this orange is a peak hold. So it shows you like the absolute loudest is hidden right here. And the yellow shows you like the real time frequency, how it's going up and down. All right, just so you know that. So you got that. Now you're gonna go over here to your good old Shep's Omni channel. Damn good plug-in. Waves is not paying me to play to say that, but if you want to pay me, Waves, you can do that, because I do use this every time I mix. So just something to think about, Waves. All right, so I'm hitting mono, right? And I got this. I am not a big preset guy. I'm not. But if you're just starting to mix, you might want to look at presets to get started. There's never a time that you're going to just depend on a preset though. Like, don't ever put a preset on something and feel like, yeah, I did it, I set a preset. You're missing the point of mixing, dude, because every song is not the same. You're gonna have to like make decisions while you're mixing. You're gonna have to decide like what's your dominant sound. For example, okay, a big problem people have mixing hip hop is the low end. So as you see right here, the kick is hitting at 60 to around 100. The problem is your sub tends to always hit around 60 and 82. So you're gonna have to like make decisions of which sound is gonna be dominant sometimes. And for me, I'm usually always a kick is dominant guy. So I end up like side chain compressing my sub or something like that to make it go down lower or whatever. So using the preset, sometimes, man, you'll get like sounds on top of sounds, and they'll boost certain frequencies that are gonna overlap on each other and make it sound super muddy, right? So that's why you need your good old phase analyzer to see like where those sounds are hidden. And I'll show you an example in a minute. So once again, I got my kick right here, right? And let's say I don't know how to mix, so I'm gonna hit a plugin. I don't know. Let's see what plugins they got. I mean, what presets, not plugins, preset. Let's go to this. Let's say kick, right? This is going to show you how the frequency changed. So I'm gonna clear that real quick. All right. All right, so off top, you see like when I bypassed it, all of this right here was added by the plugin, which is kind of dope because 9 out of 10, when you can't hear a kick, it's not really the low part. It's the highs you can't really hear when people really want to hear like more sound in your kicks and stuff like that. So off top, this plugin then gave me a lot more resonance right here in the highs. And saturation is actually pretty damn good on this, like seriously. And they got this little thump button that really like brings out the kick. If you can't hear that, man, get some better speakers. So, of course, I wouldn't leave it like this. This doesn't sound bad to me, actually, but I wouldn't leave it like this. I personally adjust that my ratio. That's not bad. All right, so I got a pretty decent preset, and I got my kick right there. I don't want to make this video long as hell because I could spend like forever talking about mixing. But let's say you got that right, and this is where the phase analyzer really comes into play, right? Let's say your sub right here, which, why did I label that sub? Gosh, let me label that sub. We need to have a conversation about labeling your channels next time. You should really do that, but I'm lazy. Anyway, so I got my sub right here, right? And let me add a chips to that, right? So what you're gonna run into, right? You see on this sub, it hits at 62. So I'm already gonna have some issues with my kick and my sub, right? Because my sub by itself is primarily at 60, right? Once again, I don't know how to mix. I'm pretending like I don't know how to mix. So I'm going to a preset. I wouldn't do this in real life, guys. So, you know, I'm just saying. I'm pretending like I'm a guy who don't know how to mix. So I'm going to a preset. I'm looking for a preset for subs or bass. Can I find one real quick? Bass, pick one. That bass. Wow. Which one would I pick? Let's say electric bass punch. I don't know. Let's see how it changed that bypass. All right, off the top, I would change a lot on this. Let's see here. All right. See right here? I would probably kill a lot of that. This is a high pass. This is a low pass. This is a high pass. So I would probably adjust that. But if you look at this saturation right here, like that is a wonderful thing. And you can adjust the thump. Looking at this right here. My lows, I would leave my sub at 60. Why not? My highs, let's see what happens if I turn my highs all the way up. get a little more resonance, right? It's right here, so you can adjust. Like, where is it hidden? Right here, it's hidden at the 200, and this is important, right, to have your phase analyzer, right? Because right here, you see the frequency right here is 200. I mean, sorry, 200, 2000. Can't read. The frequency is 2000. If you go to your phase analyzer, you can look over here, bam, 2000. So you can see like what's hidden and where it's affecting it, right? So I'm affecting the around the 2000 range right now. So if I turn it up, it's affecting this range, which is a good thing, right? This is basically sweeping the whole frequency scale from here to here, right? So you got your highs, you're looking, okay, where I'm gonna have that Q at? Bam. All right. Probably squashing the hell out of that, but all right. Now say I mixed it like that. Not a good mix, right? But now I'm bringing my kicks in. It's gonna be like all on top of that. I know I ain't got no input source. See that? All that mud's right there. So let's say I didn't know that I didn't have the mud that I just added. I would go in there and try to adjust and see, okay, yo, I think I need to adjust right there. So right, I may do something like what I may do. Oh, don't want to do that yet, because that's right, I don't have all those plugins. I might want to set up a side chain, right? I might want to just go here and go to my sub. Once again, this is why it's important to label your stuff so you know where to look at. So I might want to just side chain that. Yeah. Now that bass is controlling my my kick. And it's always ducking, which would be stupid, to be honest with you. What you want to do is the other way around. You want your kick affecting your bass, but I'm just showing you something right there, right? So these are the two plugins I would say if you're just trying to start mixing right now, like out the gate, get those two plugins. They have decent presets, and you're going to need this right here to see what you're really affecting, right? You're always going to need some kind of phase analyzer visually to see where your frequencies are hidden, right? So if I was going to do a real quick mix on what we just did right now, using this, it's going to be super shitty because I'm going to try to do it in 5 minutes. But if I do a quick little 5-minute rough mix on this, right? Matter of fact, let me start all over. Right? Start my kick. Go back to my channel. Again, see, can I use presets to do this? Once again, I would not do this in real life. But let's see, can I do a good rough mix in 5 minutes using presets? Let's see. Snare one. Yeah, it's good. It already put a low pass. I was gonna go do that. I take a little bit more off there. Where's that hidden? 15, 12. Hi-hats are always weird, right? you don't really want to go too high on your hi-hats, but you don't want to go, like for me personally, I look at a hi-hat. Me personally, I think you don't need none of this right here on the bottom end. And usually you don't think about it when you're mixing. Like this little bit right here, this little bit on the back end can add a whole lot of mud when you got like 15 channels of low end frequency, because all those frequencies just stack and stack and stack and stack on top of each other. And next thing you know it, your mix is sounding muddy, and you're like, well, why is my mix sounding muddy? And it's sounding muddy because you got all these lows right here, you know, that you don't really need. So I always check that. Like if your mix is muddy and you're a beginner mixer, always check like your lows. You might need to roll off a whole lot of lows. Well, not even a whole lot, but some of the lows off your sounds. On the flip side, man, you don't want to go too high on your highs either, man. Like all the way up here, this is what I call like 16,000s. That's what I call the annoying frequencies. Like you get too many of these sounds, dude, your ears start getting really, really stressed and annoyed. So be careful on that too. Just a easy little mixing tip for anybody who's doing that. I'm quite sure Rick Beato would be like, that's not what I do. Yeah, whatever, Rick Beato. Anyway, hi-hats. See that I got a good preset here. Hi-hats. You gotta excuse me, I don't really use presets, so I'm just looking through this. Right, hi-hats. And that's a good thing too, man. Use your ears a lot of time too, guys. Like presets and mixing is good, but use your eyes and your ears when you're doing it, because the ultimate thing is your ears. Open hi-hat, full open. Yeah. What did they do here? Let's see, 13. Okay, they boosted 13 a little bit. They actually increased the low, but you see how they killed a lot of this low end right here on the hi-hats that I was talking about? The preset actually did that, and that's because of this high pass filter they put on here. I can't get that low high. Okay, right here. So like I was saying before, this is actually a pretty damn good preset because it rolled off all of that right there, and that's generally what would give you a muddy mix. Anyway, I'm rambling. Said 5 minutes. I lied about that. For my hi-hats. All right, so those are basically my drums. Oh, I already made a drum bus, one right here, and I'll add another omni channel right here, but this time I'll make it stereo. Where is it at? Ships. Sorry, lost my train of thought for a second. I'll make it stereo. And now you can do a drum bus preset, which once again, I would never do. But you can do a drum bus preset now to bring out all your drums. Do they have a drum bus preset? Parallel drum bus, no. Is there a drum bus preset? It has to be a drum bus. Okay. Side chain on that one. All right, so I use this blown up drums, and you can see how it changed the whole frequency setup. Now this is, to me, a red flag because I'm hitting all the way up here and all these sounds are hitting up here. So when you start bringing in other sounds, it's gonna just automatically start clashing. So, you know, just something to think about. Also, free mixing tip, red is always bad. Okay. I've known you for years. I'm still impressed by this shit, especially since you're doing it live. I am the only one here who feels that way. I hope not, but yeah, red is always bad, guys. If you see red, don't do it. Like, In few instances, it's clipping okay. But general rule of thumb, man, you see red, you don't want it. Yellow is okay, right? Yellow, green, well, this is blue, but like blue, green, yellow, okay. Red, too much. So since you see that already, since it's a preset, I would turn this compression down a little bit. Look at my bus. See that right there? That is way too much, right? You don't want that. That's like no room whatsoever. It's hitting at 0. That is like stupid high. So that being the case, turn this down. It's hitting around 9. All right, so I got that turned down. And I might want to even put on a limiter on this. I wouldn't do this. I'm just saying, guys, first time mixing. You may want to put a limiter on that if you're doing some other stuff, which you don't have to right now because it's not really hitting that hard. But yeah, here's my input. Bam. Now you got your drums. Now you might want to bring in a sub next. Once again, look at your phase analyzer. I guess I'm gonna let that kick primarily take over around the 90 area. And I'm gonna let that sub live in 60. In theory. Once again, I don't know until I listen to it. Using the plugin, a preset. Why do I keep saying plugin? Preset. Clear bass. Try clear bass. That sounds terrible. Bass DI. That sounds decent. Once again, I gotta decide like what's gonna live where. So I can do some side chain. Kick right here. So that's my kick. Oh, that's a gate. Shouldn't have did the gate. I'm gonna do compressor. Sorry. Now this is gonna see. Every time the kick hits, this goes down. Once again, red, you don't want to see red. It's not a good thing in life. This thump button right here is awesome. Hear that? If you can't hear it, get some better speakers. All right. So what I tell you, red is always bad, right? You don't want red. So in this case, right, you got a few options. You can hit it with a good old limiter, which I wouldn't recommend doing it because you're gonna lose a lot of dynamics. But for the sake of argument, I'm gonna do it now. See? But once again, what I tell you, red is always bad. So if you see like this blinking in red, you're doing too much. You wanna ease off on it. Green and yellow, okay. Red, you're dead, right? So right there, bam. Is it perfect? No, but once again, this is a rough mix, so get off my back. There you go, bam. Now you might want to add your, why do I have this down here? Add your melody. All right, so you're seeing where it's hidden right here. I could talk about anti-phase and what this means in another video, but like, it's, nah, I'm not gonna get into that because I can spend forever talking about that. Basically, I would say use your ears. But like I said in the beginning, this shows how left and how right. This is super wide, right? But anyway, look at these frequencies. Where is it hidden? So you have nothing really hidden in this range. You don't have much in the lows until this part right here comes in. So that being the case, you got some decisions to make. It sounds stereo, so I'll leave it stereo. Ooh, I just want to tweak it right now, but I'm doing presets. Presets. All right, so I'm looking for a preset. What sound would you call this? Man, I don't know. Maybe a lead sif or something like that. Do I see anything, a preset for this? Sif pad? No, it's not really a pad. Nah. You know what? Let's look at this preset, see what it did though to the frequency. This is where it was before, the orange line, and this is where it's at now. Right? Some stuff happening there. Or reset. I'm gonna roll off at least 60 on that. Sorry, I can't help it. Don't need de-essing right here. Let's see. I might actually bring some of this 6,000 up a little bit. Now, once again, I did all that, and I have no idea how it sounds with it. So once I play it with the drums, I'm probably gonna have to adjust again, which is typical. Once again, the goal is try to get the sounds to sit on top of each other. Sounds a little better. And this plugin really has a great sound, like dead ass. The sound of this plugin is great, especially for like $35, bro. Like, this is steal. So there you go. That's a real quick mix on that section right here. I got one more section right here I can go ahead and do real quick. Let's see. Off top, I hear like a lot of annoying sounds in there I want to take out, but let me see where they're hitting. Yeah, see, for me, I'm going to be rolling off some of that high right here because for me personally, I don't like that in my mix, but that's just me personally. You may have a different take on that. Maybe you're doing like an EDM track and you want a whole lot of highs and distortion in there. I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna talk about that. But look, maybe you want distortion in your song. Maybe that's the effect you're going for. But it's not what I'm going for this track. So, bam. Uh, see right there? If I turn it all the way up, this is the only frequency coming up, right? I don't want that. I am gonna roll off to like about 70 though. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do 100. On 100. All right. I told you I didn't want this right here. So if I do a low pass, if I turn it all the way, nothing, right? I got a high pass here, a low pass here, so you have no frequency here, right? So I'm just gonna roll this all the way down to maybe around, I don't know, around. Oh, good thing you can zoom too, right? Set zoom. You can zoom in, which is great, right? Use your navigator, go over here. Right? So now I'm at the highs. And I can see like how much I really want to roll off on here. So I know I want to do at least 16, but I'm gonna try to take it on down to, let's see, 11. Why not? So I'll go over here and rolling it off, rolling it off, rolling it off, rolling it off. And you can see the frequency is changing over here as I keep rolling it off, right? Rolling off my highs, highs, highs. Right now I'm past 8. Oh, I didn't want that much. Let me go back down to 11. Bam. Right? So if I bypass it, you can hear what I did right now. All right. Set zoom. So this is where I'm at right now, right? I rolled out some of that highs. I may kill some of this right here. And at this point, if I had time, I would go back and look at my other tracks too and see like where the frequencies are hidden. But once again, I'm not trying to be here all day mixing this because I'm gonna have to reset this and do it how I really want to do it anyway. This is just an example. But like I would go back to another track and see like what's hidden around here and adjust. But let's say I want to duck off some of this at 300, around 400, which is a muddy range anyway, right? I will go up here, mids, and 400, 300, 400 around here, then roll something down, right? And you see that frequency going down. Bam. And that's basically you would do for the whole thing, right? Right. And you will rinse and repeat. And that's pretty much it. So like I said, if you're trying to get started mixing with a budget of $75, this plugin, these two plugins will run you around $65, $64, $65, around $65, right? And around $65, you can start mixing. Now, to be honest with you, you're not going to get any effects or whatnot. You're not going to get a super clean product. And I honestly don't think you'll be able to master. So if you're trying to mix a song like this, you're going to have to use a lot of the out of the box plugins, which are DAW. If you have Ableton, they have really good effects anyway, so you can use those. Logic, I mean, Logic got effects, but you know, do what you can. So I mean, you definitely got the basic effects with all these DAWs, like what is it, like reverb, delay, and stuff like that. You have all of those. effects, so you'll be able to add certain effects in the box. But you can also mix with your out the box plugins, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it, man. The sound of the out the box, not the out the box, but like the plugins you get with your DAW, they're not great. Unless Ableton. Ableton actually, their stock effects and plugins sound great, but like any other DAW, not really. So I'm not gonna hold you guys up, but I hope that helps anybody out if you're trying to get started mixing for under $100, under $75. This will get you started. And with anything, man, practice makes better. It doesn't make perfect. You'll never be perfect. I don't know why we keep on telling that universal lie. Perfect does not exist, but practice makes better. And if you're trying to get a comparable sound, something decent to throw out right now, man, Godspeed, get these 2 plugins and you'll be okay. And they're also expandable. The Omni channel, you can add other plugins in there as you get other plugins. But like I said, that'll get you started, man.